Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Lee, alongside, as always, with Jeremy Sadowski, and we're here to bring you exciting high school football action. 2017 Mustang Football is brought to you by the Manhattan Beach Athletic Foundation. Live from Cooper Field at Waller Stadium in beautiful Manhattan Beach, California, it is Mustangs Football 2017. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Lee, alongside, as always, with Jeremy Sadowski, and we're here to bring you exciting high school football action as your Maricosta Mustangs take on the Inglewood Sentinels. Of course, the Mustangs come into this contest 3-4 overall, 2-0, and more importantly in the Bay League, fresh off of victories over Morningside and Peninsula the week before that. Inglewood comes into this contest 4-2 and 1-1 in the Bay League. They opened with a pretty sizable loss to Palos Verdes, but redeemed themselves last week with a win versus Peninsula. Of course, Jeremy, this is an important, as you would call in college and the pros, potential trap game here for the Mustangs. Inglewood has shown they have the ability to win this contest or win any game, any week. Like I said, they already have 4 wins on this season. Mustangs, meantime, have the next 2 weeks, which typically determines the Bay League champion next week against PV, and then the Bay League finale against our arch rival, the Redondo Seahawks. So, Jeremy, a very interesting game here for the Mustangs, a very cautious game for the Mustangs coaching staff to make sure their players are not looking past the Sentinels.
Yeah, you called it, Chris. The Mustangs can definitely not look past the Sentinels to next week versus Palos Verdes at Palos Verdes. Like you said, these next couple weeks after this week usually determine the Bay League title. As a matter of fact, last season it was a 3-way tie for the Bay League title when the Mustangs defeated Palos Verdes last year when it was here at Waller Stadium. So the Mustangs are undefeated, you mentioned, in Bay League play. Palos Verdes is undefeated in Bay League play, and Redondo has 1 loss versus Palos Verdes. So again, it's setting up to where the next 2 weeks are going to be key to determine the Bay League championship. But like you said, the Mustangs have to keep their eye on this game and not overlook these Inglewood Sentinels. They have a high-powered running attack, and if the Mustangs aren't careful and do not contain, this could be a long game for the Mustangs.
Of course, Mustangs, as they've done in the past, Coach Don Mario changing some key personnel at the start of the Bay League season. Of course, the Mustangs, Reed Brebray has been the starting quarterback really since early last season. But lately, the Mustangs have seen another quarterback really take center stage here, Carpino. Jeremy, tell me a little bit about Carpino and what the Mustangs fans have seen from him so far this Bay League season.
Well, you mentioned Reed Brebray being out of the lineup the last couple weeks, and he's been battling some injuries, including a bad shoulder. So Carpino's definitely had to step up. And Nick, unlike Reed, who is a bigger quarterback, who is a very effective runner as well as passer, Nick Carpino is primarily a drop back passer. So as he gets more time at quarterback, you know he's going to get more used to the position, and hopefully Coach Morrow will be able to have Carpino a little bit here against Inglewood, because it definitely will be important for the Mustangs to have a well-balanced offensive attack going into Palos Verdes, Redondo, and of course playoffs. And right now, the Mustangs are featuring a heavy run-orientated offense.
Yeah, Mustangs captains at midfield. You have mentioned Bray, still one of the captains, one of the leaders on this team.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to be a key contributor down the stretch because his running ability is definitely a key force for these Mustangs. Even if Carpino does get playing time at quarterback, Reed Verbrae will definitely be a key contributor down the stretch.
Of course, the other captains, Everson Franklove, Kellenbach, and, of course, Jonah Tavai, all out there at midfield. And, of course, Jeremy, we talked about Carpino. You mentioned Carpino being maybe more of a true drawback passer. We've seen the Mustangs offense change a little bit this season from more of a traditional I formation. I formation certainly would benefit from a quarterback who's more of a true drop back passer, which, really we've kind of seen Reed Verbrae struggle a little bit in that position. He did seem much more suited for more of a spread attack. Jeremy, do you think maybe the switch to Carpino here has also a little bit to do with the offense in addition to Verbrae's injury?
Past Coach Morrow changed things up as we get into Bay League and to give different looks, especially in the beginning part of Bay League action when we're playing the lower side of the league, so to speak.
And we are underway, as mentioned, and Cole Trejo with a big hit there.
Yeah, it's good to see Cole Trejo back on the field for the Mustangs.
Sentinels start off with the run. And nice team tackle there by the Mustangs defense will force a second and long.
Yeah, the Mustangs are going to have to step up tonight, Chris.
Second and 8 to be specific here for the Sentinels. It is a handoff to White, the running back, number 3 for Inglewood. Gets a couple of yards. Third and long, 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, long third downs are where Inglewood's going to struggle.
Pass from Roland is incomplete. Good coverage there by the Mustang secondary.
Yeah, again, that was Cole Trejo as he has battled back from that injured ankle to get his first Bay League action of the season here in the third game of Bay League play.
So the punt is high, but very short. Does take a little bit of a Sentinel bounce, but Mustangs are going to take over here in fantastic field position. First offensive possession of the game for the Mustangs. Verbrae does start out at quarterback on his back foot. Oh boy, he throws an interception. Ill-advised throw there by Verbrae, intercepted by White, K. White, of course, the number 5 for the Sentinels. It does look like there is a flag, though, on this play, so.
I believe it was after the interception, so Inglewood will retain possession.
You're correct, Jeremy. That was after the interception, so Sentinels back to offense here on first and 10.
Yeah,
they get a few yards.
Yeah, that was Kellen back on the stop. Of course, the 3-year starter, pretty much one of the stalwarts on the Mustang defense.
And big run up the middle. This one may go all the way. And it is indeed a touchdown for Kay White of the Inglewood Sentinels. They are on the board first.
Yeah, White had a nice run right up the middle, Chris. I think the Mustangs are keying on the outside runs, and he just found that hole and had no one left to stop him once he got past the line. So Inglewood gets a 7-0 start as the Mustangs will start their second possession on a looks like a fumble there. Let's see if the Mustangs retain possession, Chris.
Yeah, certainly not the way the Mustangs coaching staff was hoping to start this contest. It looks like the Mustangs were fortunate enough to recover that fumble, but coaching staff certainly hoping the Mustangs can get their focus on here early on in this contest. So a run by Vashon Hill gets out to just past the 30.
Yeah, Vashon Hill has really established him as the go-to back with the injury to Malachi McMahon.
And it's Hill again, this time on the left-hand side. Gets a couple of yards out to the 35-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Mustangs. And it's a QB keeper. Reed Vabray, pop goes the weasel. He breaks through the line and gets all the way down to the 18. First down, Mustangs.
Yeah, unfortunately, it appears that Vabray is a little bit hobbled coming off. Hopefully, he'll be okay. He's been, like I said earlier, fighting through some injuries all season long. So hopefully that won't be too serious and he'll be back in action.
So meantime, man, we've been talking about Carpino out on the field. Replacing Vabray, Inglewood showing blitz, man in motion. Well, Trejo, in fact, was the man in motion, and instead, the Mustangs on the run play, Hill with the carry.
Again, that Mustang offensive line is doing a good job tonight, making some holes for these Mustang running backs.
2nd and 2. It's Hill again, this time on the left-hand side. He has the first down and more. Knocked out at about the 7-yard line. First and goal, Mustangs. I formation. Carpino with the hand up, straight up the middle, but Mustangs stopped at the line of scrimmage. That was Hill with the carry, so 2nd down coming up.
Because of their big backs, you got Jonah Tavai, and when Vabray is in there, he is a fierce goal line runner too. Added, you got Vashon Hill. Hopefully soon we'll see Malachi McMahon back in the backfield, and this is definitely a strong area for the Mustangs.
Meantime, Carpino under center. He's rolling back. He's under pressure. He throws, and that is incomplete. Tavai was the intended target, so it's 3rd and goal coming up. Shotgun for Carpino. Tavai along with him. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He looks to the right, throws to the corner of the end zone, and has himself a touchdown. Carpino to Kellenbach. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Yeah, let's take another look at this play here as Carpino is in shotgun, and he has a lot of time to find Cody Kellenbach on one of your favorite plays, the fade to the corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown.
Yeah, you know me, I love that fade to the corner of the end zone. Certainly worked well, especially with a tall receiver like Kelleback who can get physical. He's really more of a tight end out there playing the wide receiver position. So against a small 5'9", 5'10" corner, if I'm the Mustangs, I'm drawing that play up every time I'm in the red zone.
Jack Austin with that little pooch kick, which Inglewood had some trouble fielding. I kind of like that play to give the Mustang kickoff team time to get down into position to make the tackle. You don't get too many long returns, and you have the possibility of getting a turnover. Let's see, it appears there's a penalty here. Let's see, it is against Inglewood. Let's see, that will back them up even further, so it'll be 1st down and 15 for the Sentinels to start this drive.
So Mustangs, after falling down 7-0 after a big run by White for the Sentinels, able to calm themselves down and get into the end zone, tying this one up here. Sentinels, meantime, back in offense. Another nice run there on the right-hand side is close to a Sentinels 1st down.
Yeah, Chris, again, the Sentinels were working to try to get to the outside, so the Mustangs will definitely have to be sharp on the containment.
It's a handoff to White, trying to turn that corner, but oh boy, you talk about keeping containment. Cole Trejo right there, coming up with the big hit and doing exactly that. Loss of 1 on the play. Shotgun run up the middle, and oh, a nice tackle for the Mustangs. Maybe got 2 yards on the play, but big hit by the Mustangs, Kelly. Injured player on the field for the Sentinels. Chris, Jeremy, I mentioned the last drive certainly didn't start off very well for the Mustangs. As we see, there is also a holding call against the Sentinels. Their opening kick return was bobbled, almost a turnover for the Mustangs. So after giving up a touchdown and then struggling to just recover that ensuing kickoff, Mustangs coaching staff, I'm sure, had to be a little nervous, but must be feeling much better now because the Mustangs had themselves another touchdown. That was a pick 6. Killenback with the INT and touchdown.
Yeah, Chris, let's take another look at this play. And what I like about this defensive set by the Mustangs is you got Tavai standing up. He's moving around. He still comes in through the middle and opens up and enables the pass rush to get in because he takes up so many people. And then the quarterback just sort of heaves it up, and Kellenbach reads it well and picks it off, gets into the end zone. Mustangs are starting to roll here.
Point after attempt is on its way. The kick is up. The kick is high. A flag is down, so they've not given the indication of whether it's good or not. Let's wait and see what the call is here. Likely a motion penalty against the Mustangs.
Actually, it's against Inglewood, so they're going to re-kick the ball, be half the distance to the goal.
This thing's lining up. Jack Austin set. The kick is up, it's high, it's straight, and it is good.
Looks like
so the Mustangs. But they're another penalty.
And again, it looks like it's on Inglewood here, Chris. Let's see. We'll try this another time.
If you're the Mustang coaches, if you're Coach Don Morrow, do you consider going for 2 here now?
That is definitely a possibility.
Meantime, looks like the Mustangs will still go for 1. The kick is up high straight, and it is good. No flags on the play this time. So that will make this a 14-7 lead for the Mustangs here in the first quarter.
Yeah, the Mustang defense really did a good job last drive as Kellenbach got the interception after the good pressure on the quarterback led to that bad pass, and the Mustangs now have the 14-7 lead here, scoring 2 touchdowns in a row. Quarterback White on the run left and is stopped up by the Mustang defense after a few yards gained, and that will bring up a 2nd down and long for the Sentinels.
Shotgun formation. Mustang showing blitz, and they may have been drawn offside. But let's see. Perhaps the Sentinels moved first. Nope, that is against the Mustangs. Shotgun formation. It's a handoff to the back on the right-hand side. The Mustangs are there for the tackle. Second down play. It's again a run right up the middle, but the Mustangs right there. That's a tough place to try to run against the Mustangs with big number 41, Jonah Tavai, planted firmly right in the middle of that field. Meantime, the Sentinels on the QB run again brought down. That one is a loss of 2. So big play there for the Mustangs D, forcing a 4th down situation and injured a Sentinel on the play. So 4th down here for the Sentinels. 4th and punting. Mustangs in their home green uniforms. Ship by the Sentinels. A bad snap literally bounced to the Sentinels punter and downed at the 46-yard line. So the Mustangs will take over here. It does look like a flag is down on the play, likely against the Sentinels. And no, it will be just 1st and 10 Mustangs. Mustangs in 4 receiver set. Shotgun. Carbino looks right, throws, and good coverage downfield. So that one is incomplete.
Yeah, that was intended for Jackson Fisher. Has established himself a bit later on in this season as a key go-to receiver. And, of course, he is one of the sophomore sensations for the Mustangs, making an impact.
So with just a little over a minute left to go here in this opening quarter, Mustangs go back to the
Yeah, it
ground.
appears Vibre is back in the lineup for the Mustangs as he runs on the quarterback keeper.
Third down coming up here for the Mustangs, who currently lead 14-7. Inglewood showing blitz. Mustangs keep it on the ground, and bowling his way forward is Tavai, who pounds his way down to the 28-yard line, which is more than enough for a Mustangs first down.
Again, hard running by Jonah Tavai, throwing off tacklers as he just rumbles through the Sentinel defense.
So split I formation here for the Mustangs, offset I. The handoff goes to the back, but oh boy, he's thrown down that time. That is a loss on the play, so it's second down. And let's see where they spot it. Ooh, second down and 5. Not a very generous spot, but that is how this first quarter ends with the Mustangs leading 14-7.
The 9th annual Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk is on Sunday, October 29th at the Manhattan Beach Pier. The annual event brings together all walks of life for one common purpose: to support children with special needs and public education. The charity walk includes performances, celebrities, vendor exhibits, a kids fun zone, appearances by Nickelodeon characters, Los Angeles sports teams, and lots more. Register or donate today by logging on to SkechersFriendshipWalk.com. Pre-registration is $30 and $35 on the day of the event. Thank you for going the extra mile for children with special needs and education.
And we are back in set for the second quarter. Mustangs lead this contest 14-7. Let's see if the Mustangs can add a little bit more here to this early score as they are driving. Of course, I mentioned it was a little bit of an interesting start, to say the least, here for the Mustangs. We mentioned Mustangs need to be careful.
Yeah, and the Mustangs definitely started off a little bit slow, but
I don't know if that led to the Mustangs' slow start, but good to see them rolling now.
Yeah, Chris, with Inglewood here in town, it reminds me way back to 1999 when we first started broadcasting Mustang football, and I was able to catch a bit of a Mustang Sentinel wrestling match with the mascots. That, oh boy, look at that. We'll get back to that story as Kellenbach gets another touchdown, his third of the night.
Kellenbach is on fire. Carpino also looking sharp. Let's take a look at that one again there as you mentioned. Mustangs trying to put some points on the board. Carpino with a nice, easy, relaxed throw. Didn't force that one in there. It was not on a rope. It was just nice touch on the ball to a wide open Kellenbach, who has just happened himself a monster first half.
Yeah, he has definitely almost been a one-man wrecking crew for the Mustangs, scoring on defense and scoring twice on offense, and now giving the Mustangs that 20-7 lead as the extra point is no good.
So after a bit of a slow start for the Mustangs, they are rolling now with 3 consecutive touchdowns, unanswered touchdowns against the Sentinels.
Real quick, back to that 1999 story. That footage of the mascots wrestling ended up appearing on Real TV. For those of you who were around back then, was a popular home video show, as well as Maximum Exposure, and it received a Tony Award from Tony Hernandez from KTLA 5.
Meantime, Sentinels back to the ground game, but the Mustangs are right there. 2nd and 12 coming up.
Yeah, and fans, you can view that footage from Real TV on the Maricosta Football channel on YouTube. And remember, you can keep up on Mustang action on Facebook, keywords Maricosta High School football players, on Twitter, at Costa Football and at Jeremy Sadowski.
Meantime, motion penalty against Inglewood. That will set them 5 yards further back, so 2nd and 17. Shotgun, man in motion. It's a handoff to the man in motion. I believe that's White with the end around, basically.
Inglewood will try to get the ball into White's hands any way they can.
So 3rd down and 12 coming up. White made up the 5-yard loss from the previous play. Meantime, Mustangs, oh, what a big hit by Gale.
Yeah, Easton Gale has put on some good hits this year so far for the Mustang defense. He's definitely stepping up.
Yeah, big play for the Mustangs there, forcing another 4th down and keeping Mr. Momentum clearly on their side. This is another high punt, but again, not very deep, so the Mustangs will take over here at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, leading 20-7. Mustangs hand off. McMahon burst outside and still going. Finally is brought down, but boy, big time run down to the 35-yard line and another Mustangs 1st down.
Yeah, it's good to see Malachi McMahon.
Carpino play action, rolls left, throws. That is complete. Kellenbach with the reception on the comebacker gets down to the 18. 1st and 10.
Yeah, Cody Kellenbach is definitely Nick Carpino's favorite receiver here, as he is just, they have a connection going to whenever Carpino seems to be in trouble, he's looking for Kellenbach.
Yeah, Kellenbach with 3 touchdowns on the night, one of which was a pick 6, but the other 2 were the results of good passes by Carpino. That's led to this 20-7 score here for the Mustangs. We're here in the 2nd quarter. Sentinels in shotgun. Handoff goes to White, and he is brought down by the Mustangs D. Bobby Millay looked like was involved in that tackle. And looked to me like Inglewood's receiver was never quite set there, but officials let it go. So the pass is complete. So it's 3rd and 6. And oh, what a big hit out there by the Mustangs. Evison Franklin. Evison forced the 4th down. Inglewood going for it. Already feeling that pressure.
Yep, and they did not get it, and that will be first down Mustangs in excellent field position here to start another drive with 7 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first half.
Yeah, almost a desperation move here early in the game for the Sentinels coaching staff. Meantime, Mustangs trying to go deep.
Yeah, and that's a touchdown. Fabre is back in and finds Jackson Fisher. Jordan, of course, being Jackson's older brother who came through last year. It was a senior. As we'll take another look at this touchdown pass from Fabre to Fisher.
Yeah, Fabre gets that snap, stops, plants, pump fakes, and then throws a beautiful ball right in stride to Fisher. A perfect throw in that situation. If he had put a little bit more air under it, it could have possibly been intercepted by the free safety. So, perfect throw there. Fabre throws a nice tight spiral. Good arm strength shown there. Good to see him back and throwing. Fabre looking very sharp. Carpino looking sharp. The Mustangs are in a great position when it comes to their quarterbacks.
So after the Mustangs started trailing 7-0, they have rolled off 27 straight points here and now lead Inglewood 27-7.
And I would have to say this has been by far the most impressive aerial attack here by the Mustangs so far this season.
Yeah, both quarterbacks have had nice touchdown passes.
Meantime, attempted running back screen here by the Sentinels, but boy, was that read nicely by the Mustangs. Incomplete, so 2nd and 10. Sentinels keep it on the ground. They get close to the first down marker.
Ryan Ohanesian, the senior defensive lineman, and again, 3-year starter for the Mustangs, was in on that play, Chris.
So 3rd down and short. Sentinels trying to turn that corner, and they are able to get just enough for a first down. A rare first down for Inglewood. Here in this contest, Mustangs defense has come to play, and they are showing blitz right now. It's a low snap. Sentinels wisely just fall on the ball there. Looked like Inglewood had a little bit of a little trickery play going on as number 18, Smith, was in there at quarterback. Meantime, Sentinels again under pressure.
And that's a nice interception, and it looks like Thomason's going to go all the way for the touchdown, Chris, but I think there might be a penalty flag on the return there after the interception by Aiden Thomason. Let's see what the referee says. Or let's first take a look at this play.
Yeah, you mentioned Thomason. He is having himself an excellent play here. It's a kind of a wobbly throw, but Thomason does a great job of keeping his eyes in the backfield the entire time. Was aware of where the receiver was, but kept his eyes on the quarterback. So when that pass came kind of wobbling down, he was able to easily adjust and get that interception. And then at that point, it was all athletic ability as Thomason was able to get into the end zone. Jeremy, as you mentioned, a penalty on the play will negate the touchdown, but the interception does stand. So what a great play by Thomason.
Carpino back in the game for the Mustangs with a completion there. It looks like to perhaps Malachi McMahon on the reception, as the Mustangs are starting yet another drive here in Sentinel territory.
Of course, the Mustangs lead 27-7 here in this first half. Sentinels show blitz, but the Mustangs able to get outside of the tackles and get down to the 32-yard line. So that is enough for Mustangs first down. Offset I, straight drop back. Carpino rolling left, under pressure. Stops, plants, throws it away. Incomplete. Smart play by Carpino. 1st and 10 now becomes 2nd and 10. They are going to call the intentional grounding here, but still leading 27-7. I'd still would much rather take an intentional grounding than to see one of these Mustangs quarterbacks get hit on the run and possibly get injured.
Appears that there are offsetting penalties here, so that will do it all over again.
So shotgun formation. Carpino looks left, throws, and incomplete. Had 2 receivers open in the area here, but that falls incomplete. Jake Salazar, one of the intended targets.
It appears there might be a penalty here on the Mustangs, and that will march them back 5 yards further, as we see a little flipped Fisher, which we haven't seen in the last couple weeks, gets a nice little gainer for the Mustangs, Chris.
Yeah, good to see Fisher getting a carry there on the flip. So 3rd down and about 8 for the Mustangs. Stops, plants, throws, and is that intercepted?
Yeah, I believe
It is. That's intercepted. Wow.
Wow, you said it. That was the wow play as the Inglewood Sentinel dove in, and I don't know how he was able to catch that one right off the turf.
Yeah, Williams for Inglewood made a great play there for sure. Let's see if the Mustangs D can hold. We are approaching halftime with Mustangs leading 27-7. It's a sweep right, but the Mustangs are there quickly. Kellenbach standing strong. Stewart's in as well.
Another penalty here on this play. Let's see what the officials decide on this one.
Jeremy, to me, it just kind of feels like this game is one Mustang touchdown away from really getting out of hand here for the Sentinels. So they are desperate to try to stay in this one. They need a score here on this drive big time.
Of course, we are getting ready for the halftime.
Continues to do the heavy lifting for the Sentinels off the right side. Coming extravaganza.
So let's see what will happen here in the last minutes of the first half as Inglewood is back to punt. And that's a bad snap, and that will be a safety for the Mustangs as Inglewood's problems continue as they're not able to get the snap down for the punter, and that will bring the score to 29-7 here in the second quarter. And of course, getting the safety, they will get the ball on a free kick. So here we go. And look at that, Chris. That's Roman Petch with a nice return, and he could go all the way for the touchdown after. A late hit there. And the flags are flying. Couple late hits. It looks like the Mustangs are definitely upset about that late hit on Roman, as Vashon Hill is definitely excited and upset on that play.
Yeah, understandably so. You can tell that one was really just a frustration hit by the Sentinels as the officials discuss how they want to handle this situation. Of course, back-to-back plays there, the big safety by Kelly and then the Peck return for a TD. Clearly, as I mentioned, it felt like the Mustangs were one touchdown away from putting this one, away early. But they got a touchdown and a safety to boot here. So definitely a frustration penalty by the Sentinels. They have to keep their composure.
Yeah, Chris, and I think the referees are possibly discussing multiple fouls because, like I said, Vashon Hill was upset, and along with a couple other Mustangs were upset once Peck was hit late there in the end zone. And, they came to the aid of their buddy, and we'll see what happens here. It looks like it might be multiple penalties.
Yeah, they all got their notebooks out here, taking numbers. So some big penalties coming for sure here.
We got a little Mustang on the touchdown board, pumping out some push-ups.
Yeah, well done there by the young man. Officials explaining the situation and the calls here to head coach Don Morrow. Of course, we are also literally seconds away from the end of the first half, so I'm sure that certainly added to the frustration levels of the Sentinels. They were just hoping to try to sneak into halftime, and the ironic part, Jeremy, is of course, that all got started with that safety on what would have been a punt by the Sentinels. If the Sentinels had punted, Mustangs at that point, already leading 27-7, likely would have just downed the football and taken this 27-7 lead into halftime. Instead, it's a bad snap, turns into a safety. The ensuing kick turns into a touchdown return by Peck. And talk about the tides turning literally in the instance of one bad play.
Yeah, and Coach Morrow still is not liking what he's hearing from the referee there. Let's see what he ends up calling here on this play, Chris.
And like you mentioned, penalty here, unsportsmanlike against Inglewood as well as the Mustang, so that will offset.
Yeah, and I believe the touchdown will count as it all happened after, as we see another look at this play.
Yeah, a bouncing kick taken by Peck, and initially didn't seem like it was going to amount to much, but once he reversed field, you could see the Mustangs had the blockers on that side, and Peck did a good job to even throw in a little kind of half jump into the end zone just for a flair.
Yeah, and the Eaglewood Sentinel defender definitely did not appreciate that, and that was a blatant unsportsmanlike call. And honestly, I think he should have been ejected for that play, Chris. It was so blatant.
Yeah, I completely agree. Meantime, the Mustangs' lead is now 36-7, with just over 30 seconds left to go here in this first half. Again, when the Mustangs had that 27-7 lead, all Inglewood had to do was get one good snap to their punter, punt the ball. Mustangs would have taken over and, like I said, likely downed the football. Instead, it goes from 27-7 to 36-7, all a result of one bad snap. Meantime, Sentinels on the end around. Mustangs are there. Down he goes, and that may be enough to end this first half. And that is, this first half ends with the Mustangs leading 36-7. Let's now go down for our special halftime presentation.
Parker, and I'm on homecoming court. Hi, I'm Isabel Marsh, and I'm on homecoming court to make Costa great again.
The 9th annual Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk is on Sunday, October 29th at the Manhattan Beach Pier. The annual event brings together all walks of life for one common purpose: to support children with special needs and public education. The charity walk includes performances, celebrities, vendor exhibits, a kids fun zone, appearances by Nickelodeon characters, Los Angeles sports teams, and lots more. Register or donate today by logging on to SkechersFriendshipWalk.com. Pre-registration is $30 and $35 on the day of the event. Thank you for going the extra mile for children with special needs and education. And we are back. Congratulations to the homecoming king and queen. down 7-0, and then rolled off 36 consecutive points, and then that last safety followed by the kick return by Peck, and then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. We'll see what happens here as Vashon Hill has broken one free.
Oh boy, certainly not the way the Sentinels were hoping to rebound. What a big return by Hill.
Yeah, the Mustangs have been running all over the Sentinels on interception returns, kickoff returns. Yeah, they've been struggling trying to stop them.
Meantime, Mustangs first down. Reed Bray back in at quarterback. Tavai keeps going, chugs, and is finally brought down. First down run by Tavai.
Yeah, as we see a good look at Tavai's right side of his helmet, half the paint is gone, including the decal. I mean, you can tell he's just a battering ram there.
Anytime for Bray. And this one is blown dead here by the officials. Looks like this is going to be against the Mustangs. No, it's a timeout for the defense. Interesting situational timeout there by the Sentinels with 49 seconds into the second half.
Yeah, the Mustangs score again here, and we might be seeing a running clock the rest of the second half. And there is the touchdown. Evanson Frank Love able to spin his way into the end zone for yet another Mustang score.
Now, Mustangs are scoring about every way possible tonight. We got a pick six for a touchdown. We got a safety. We got Peck with a punt return for a touchdown, or kick return, I should say, for a touchdown, and 2 Carpino passes to Callenbach, and then now a touchdown run by Frank Love. They've literally scored every possible way.
Yeah, and not to mention there was that other pick six that ended up calling back for a legal block by the Mustangs. So this has definitely been it started off slow, but the Mustangs have definitely started to pour it on. Oh, what a hit! Pack getting a little revenge there on that hit, Chris.
Hey, you got that right, Jeremy. Boy, what a monster hit by Peck. What a great game he's having.
He's not the biggest player on the field, but he's one of the hardest hitting ones. I'll tell you that, Chris. Reminds me of a player we played with, Craig Weems.
Yep, for sure. Not the tallest in stature, but boy, could Weems hit.
Yeah, I remember going up against Craig in practice, and because he wasn't that tall, man, he would catch you like underneath the jaw with his... I remember a couple of times, it's like, calm down, it's practice.
Meantime, the Sentinels with a big run up the middle, finally brought down by the Mustangs, Malachi McMahon, but after a first down run by Inglewood.
A roller back to the quarterback is recovered by the Sentinels, and their problems just seem to be mounting here in the second half, Chris. Let's see if they are able to maintain this drive and at least get something on the board.
Yeah, Mustangs certainly didn't start off the way they wanted, but boy, have they turned it around since then, dominating this game now.
And again, I think it's safe to start looking ahead towards next week as we see an incompletion there by the Sentinels. And, of course, next week is Palos Verdes at Palos Verdes. Both teams undefeated in Bay League action. And pretty much next week, the Bay League title could be decided.
Yeah, it's been a streaky season there, as it looks like a fumble on the play, and it looks like the Mustangs have recovered.
Yeah.
Bobby Millay with the recovery.
Yep, Bobby Millay got that one. And again, another turnover. And like I said, that running clock is now going. So this game should be over pretty much as long, I mean, not too much longer of this game, because once that clock starts going, it doesn't stop.
Yes, I was about to mention the Mustangs roller coaster ride of a season here. Mustangs opened with 3 road games and 3 losses. Started off this season 0-3. Went 1-1 in their next matchup against West and South Hills. But with tonight's game, Mustangs will now have won 3 consecutive wins. So they opened up 0-3, and they're now on a 3-game winning streak here to open this Bay League schedule.
Yeah, Chris, and what you mentioned, getting into Bay League, you get your wins, you go into playoffs, and if they can have a 4-game streak at the end of the season in the playoffs, that means a CIF championship.
Second down coming up meantime for the Mustangs. And another good run by McMahon. Again, good to see him out there running. He's had a few good runs. Vashon Hill still showing his durability. Another good game by Hill. And, of course, we had that Frank Love touchdown. I know you talked about it earlier, but yes, these Mustangs are stacked at running back.
As we see Malachi McMahon with another run. Nice play for the Mustangs, as it's now 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
And, Mustangs right up the middle, but stopped at the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and goal coming up.
Oh, there's a fumble on the play, Chris.
Oh boy, Inglewood with the recovery. Looks like they are going to return this one. What a wild game when it comes to a variety of touchdowns. We've seen a pick six, we've seen a punt return for a touchdown, and now we've seen a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was White again, who had Inglewood's other touchdown on a long run, and he got that one and went 97 yards for the score. So, like you said, this has been a wild game of big plays.
Meantime, the point after attempt is up high, straight, and good. So the score of this contest is now 43-14 as we are at the end of the 3rd quarter. And that is how the 3rd quarter will end. We are going to the 4th and final quarter with the Mustangs leading 43-14.
Yeah, Chris, once they start play here in the 4th quarter, that clock will again be continuously running here, as we should be done in about 12 minutes once that clock starts going. So again, I want to let the fans know that you can reach us on YouTube. You can catch all the Mustang games on the MiraCosta Football channel on YouTube. And again, we are going to be donating and giving away the Jason Sadowski Scholarship, which will be given away annually to a Mustang senior starting this year. Again, that's to honor the passing of my dad a few years ago, who helped us get this whole thing started way back in 1999, 19 seasons ago, back before all of these players were born. It's hard to believe we've been doing this 19 seasons, Chris.
You got that right. Crazy to think that none of these players had even been born yet. Thanks for making me feel old, Jeremy.
That's what I'm here for.
At least the only good thing is I was a summer baby. You were born a few months before, so at least I'm the younger of the two of us.
Yep, I'm the old man here. As this Mustang team, we've seen a lot of Mustang teams through the years, and hopefully this one will be able to put everything together after you mentioned the slow start, the streakiness of this team. Hopefully that they can overcome adversity and put together something special here. Here's something special as Malachi McMahon is just tearing his way through the Inglewood defense.
Yeah, don't tell him the score is 43-14 in the fourth quarter with the running clock. He is still running like this is a tied ball game.
Uh-oh. I think that's a fumble, Chris.
Oh. It's a... Why not? With everything else that's been going on this game, that is a fumble return for a touchdown. Inglewood now with 2 fumble recoveries returned for touchdowns.
And guess who that was? That was White again. 3 long plays, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 for 97 yards. I think that one was about almost 50 yards, and then he had the 50-yard touchdown run. Boy, he's going to be exhausted after this game.
Got that, as will this coaching staff. I'm sure they can't wait till this one's over.
And here's the onside kick as Tavai has it, and he's just throwing off Inglewood tacklers, and he's still going. Look at that. He's still going. Yeah, Tavai, he was going beast mode there, Chris.
Yeah, it looked like Tavai wanted to get the touchdown. I think that's about the only type of touchdown we haven't seen, an onside kick return for a TD.
Yeah, that's about it. Now the Mustangs are just going to be pounding it away. As I see Reed Vibre is coming back into the game for the Mustangs.
Interesting call. Of course, that's one of the bad parts, I guess, is having kind of split quarterbacks at this stage.
Vashon Hill with the left.
Game. Yeah, you really have to make a tough choice if you're Don Morrow. Do you sit Vibre or do you sit Carpino?
Yeah. And the other thing is, by having these 2 quarterbacks with very different styles, it forces the defenses to plan for both of them, as Vashon Hill is just tearing up more yardage, getting down close to the goal line.
First and goal coming up. In fact, after that Hill run. Vibre sends a man in motion. It's a handoff to Hill, and oh boy, he is stopped just shy of the line of scrimmage. He was following a good lead block out there by the Mustangs. Number 4, Jeremy Jackson, but not able to get in. Meantime, it's a QB keeper right out the middle. Reed Vibre is in for a Mustangs touchdown.
Yeah, on that Kiwi keeper, he had Jonah Tavai pushing him from the backside. Man, that's, he was pretty much along for the ride and into the end zone on that play.
So the Mustangs now extend that lead to 50-21.
And I think they might be one more play. Actually, that should do it, Chris, with the running clock. That will end this game.
Of course, Mustangs looks like that is the final play right there. So the Mustangs win this contest by a final score of 50-21. Crazy game here, touchdown-wise for the Mustangs. Certainly, Mustangs opened with 3 straight Kellenbach touchdowns, one of which was a pick six. Then the quarterbacks kind of took over for a little bit there, Verbrae to Fisher, as well as Verbrae to handing off to Frank Love for a touchdown. And, of course, can't forget that Peck return for a touchdown that followed that safety by Kelly, and that was a backbreaker for the Sentinels. Next week the Mustangs have that big matchup against PV, so fans definitely stay tuned for that one. Meantime, let's go down to the field and get player reaction following this Mustangs 50-21 victory.
It means a lot to support our troops, and I know that he was a great Mustang, and we really appreciate what he did for our country.
It's just awesome to honor a fallen hero, especially one that's walked in the same shoes that we've walked. Was a student here, was a football player here, won that CAF championship. I mean, I've never met the man, but I've heard a lot about him, and it means so much to honor a fallen hero like him.
We honored him. We retired his number this year, so I changed my number from 77 to 63 early in the season. And it just meant a lot. It means a lot to wear the number of such a great Mustang, such a great person.